Trump ignites the future in a historic turn that puts the United States on the brink of something unprecedented. For the first time, a grid-scale nuclear fusion plant has officially requested to connect to the American power system. This Saturday, June 6, 2026, the news is significant because we're not talking about a loose laboratory promise, but about a technology that's trying to move out of the experimental field and into the real energy infrastructure of the world's greatest power. Commonwealth Fusion Systems placed the RC plant in Virginia in the PJM queue, the largest competitive electricity network in the United States. Precisely at a time when data centers, artificial intelligence, and heavy industry are demanding an absurd amount of firm energy. It's a turning point that shows the scale of the competition. While the old politics talk about limits, rationing, and expensive energy, the new American race points to abundance, technological dominance, and industrial power. What has just emerged in the American power grid? Why could this nuclear fusion change the world economy? How could Trump use this new era to put the United States years ahead of its rivals? I'll tell you all about it in a moment. If you like this kind of straightforward, no-nonsense content, consider subscribing, because here there's a video like this every day. Commonwealth Fusion Systems formally filed a request to connect the RC plant to PJM on April 28, 2026. This is the step that connects the laboratory to the real world. The planned plant is expected to produce about 400 megawatts, enough to supply large industrial and commercial customers, as well as a demand equivalent to approximately 150,000 homes in Virginia. The plant was announced for Chesterfield County because Virginia has become one of the most strategic areas of the new American economy. The state has a strong presence of data centers and is under increasing pressure for a constant energy supply. Artificial intelligence doesn't grow just with chips, fancy talk, and modern apps. It needs electricity. It needs a strong grid. It needs a stable source. And that's the point that puts nuclear fusion at the center of the power struggle. Whoever has abundant energy will train more artificial intelligence models, run more servers, attract more factories, and support more innovation. PJM Interconnection serves 3 states and the District of Columbia, with a capacity of about 182,000 megawatts and more than 65 million consumers. When a company requests a connection to this network, it goes through a rigorous technical process, with studies on safety, stability, impact, and possible adaptations in transmission. The process can take from 4 to 6 years, and the company wants to have the authorization underway by the beginning of the 2030s, so it can deliver energy as soon as the plant is ready. The promise of fusion is simple to understand. Instead of splitting heavy atoms, as happens in the nuclear fission of traditional plants, it tries to fuse light atoms and release a huge amount of energy. It's the same type of reaction that powers the sun. The challenge is to control this process on Earth in a safe, continuous, and economically viable way. CFS is betting on high-temperature superconducting magnets to make the reactors smaller, more efficient, and closer to commercial scale. This technical detail matters because there is no real nuclear fusion without strong magnetic control. The plasma needs to circulate under extreme conditions. No ordinary material could withstand that heat touching the structure directly. That's why the magnets are the heart of the project. They hold the plasma, keep the process stable, and pave the way for a plant smaller than the giant models planned in other parts of the world. Google also got involved in this story because they know that energy has become a matter of survival for artificial intelligence. The company signed an agreement to buy 200 megawatts from the first ARC plant and increased its stake in Commonwealth Fusion Systems. This shows that the tech giants are not treating nuclear fusion as just a laboratory curiosity. They are looking at the next decade and understanding that the digital race will be decided at the power outlet. Whoever doesn't have reliable energy will lose ground. This point helps explain why. Because Trump's agenda speaks so directly to this shift. The Trump administration has been treating energy as a matter of national security, not as an environmental sin. In May 2025, Trump signed executive orders to accelerate the American nuclear industry, reduce obstacles, and stimulate a new phase of advanced reactors. The Department of Energy presented this as part of a nuclear revival in the United States, focusing on reliable energy, expanding capacity, and strengthening the industrial supply chain. This takes nuclear fusion out of the futuristic showcase and puts the topic into American energy planning. Artificial intelligence doesn't wait for climate speeches. It demands electricity 24 hours a day. Nuclear fusion also carries a powerful political advantage. It dismantles the argument that economic growth needs to be treated as a threat. If it works on a commercial scale, it can deliver clean, reliable, and abundant energy without the same kind of waste associated with traditional fission. This doesn't eliminate all the technical challenges, but it completely changes the debate. The project doesn't start out as just another government promise pushed by bureaucrats. It starts with private capital, interested clients, technological partnership, and a formal request to join the grid. It's the market seeing the value before old politics can catch up. Now the risk is time. The company is rushing to build. The grid is evaluating. The clients are waiting. The demand is growing. That's why Trump's agenda can turn this progress into a bigger political cause. China is watching this movement because it is also competing for energy, technology, and artificial intelligence. The major powers know that the next phase of the economy won't be won just by whoever has the most apps. It will be won by whoever has the energy to sustain all of this. Nuclear fusion could become the engine of the new American industry, but only if the United States can overcome its own internal sluggishness. This is the warning hidden in this request for connection. The future has arrived at the doorstep of the power grid, but it still needs to get through the regulator's queue. Trump lights up the future because this breakthrough matches the idea of energy as power. The first grid-scale nuclear fusion plant is not just a scientific headline. It shows that the United States can open a new era of abundant electricity, powerful artificial intelligence, and competitive industry. Now the pressure will fall on the bureaucracy, on the grid operators, and on American energy policy. CFS has already put the project in the queue. Google has already secured part of the energy. Virginia is already on the fusion map. The next step will be to prove that the machine delivers, that the grid can handle it, and that Washington won't let the future get stuck in paperwork. I'm Milson Alves, global internationalist, and my purpose is to keep you well informed with the truth every day. The news links are in the video description. Like this video, subscribe, and check the comments at the end to engage more with the Milson Alves community.